Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a little guide on the Shrouded Affix, mainly focusing on which stat you should choose from the Affix. But before we get into that, I just want to shout out my Discord. We're at about 700 members there. If you have any questions about DH or anything in this video or in general, you can almost certainly find your answer in there. My Discord is also where you can get my UI. I recently came out with a huge update, coming out with class week cores and a bunch of new stuff. My UI is available for Twitch subs, so if you sub to me on Twitch, connect your Twitch account with your Discord account, you can stack on my entire UI, my week cores, my profiles, everything. I also have a shadowed unit frames version of my UI and a LVUI version of my UI. If you don't like LVUI, or if you don't like shadowed unit frames, you can pick between either one. Also, if you're not subbed to me on YouTube, I would really appreciate that. It's free and it takes like 2 seconds while you're here. So if you do that, thank you. I really appreciate it. So with all that out of the way, let's get into it. First off, if you don't know how the Affix works, when you start a key, a cartel person will spawn that you need to click and talk to, and you get to choose between gaining 2% crit, 2% haste, 69 mastery, or 1% verse per stack of the new Affix. The way you gain these stacks is throughout the dungeon. There are hidden dreadlords. Some can disguise themselves as a mob in a pack, or some will be off to the side as a neutral mob, and when you attack them, they turn into a dreadlord. So after killing these dreadlords, you gain a stack of the stat you chose at the beginning of the dungeon. Like I said, each stack is either 2% crit, 2% haste, 69 mastery, or 1% verse per stack. There's also one mini boss dreadlord named Zolgamux, which will give you 3 stacks of the stat you chose after you kill him. So now that you kind of have an idea of how the Affix works and how you obtain the stacks, we're going to check out logs from Warcraft logs. Look at about the average amount of stacks you'll gain throughout each dungeon. Obviously this will vary depending on routing, but as you can see here in all of these logs, the average is around 10 to 11 stacks. So now that we know the average, when we sim our characters, we know how much of a DPS gain we'll get on average from the 10 to 11 stacks we get throughout a key. So next, I'll show you guys how to actually do these sims yourself. So first, you want to download the Simulation Craft add-on from your add-on manager and hop into the game. Type into the chat /simc and a box will pop up like this. Then hit Control-C to copy that text. After that, go to raidbots.com on your browser, go to the quick sim. Next in this box here, paste what you copied from your character in game into this box, Control-V or right click. Now head down to simulation options, fight style, select patchwork, number of bosses, 5 bosses, fight length, 1 minute, SimC version nightly. Now we want to head down to raid buffs and disable all of them by unchecking them except Chaos Brand. Now head down to custom APL, drop that little tab down, checkmark SimC expert mode. Now in header, if there's anything there, delete that, then scroll down to footer, then go into the description of this video, copy and paste the profile set I have pasted in there. Now you're all done, you just hit that run quick sim button and your sim will start and you're all done. So huge shout out to Seriallos, I think is how you say his name. He created this profile set that you can use to sim the Affix very quickly, and so far I think it works pretty accurately, but obviously, you know, there will be errors in sims and everything's not going to go 100% exactly like a sim would during a poll, so keep that in mind. Sims are not always perfect. But anyways, what we're going to be looking at is 3 different builds here and 3 different sims, and we're going to be taking a look at which stat we should take for each one. The type of sim we're doing is 1 minute long, 5 bosses, no lust or buffs except consumables and Chaos Brand. Keep in mind these first 3 we're going to look at are with my current stats, which is 34% crit, 29% haste, and 17% verse. After the first 3, if you'd like to skip past these, I'm going to be showing the same 3 builds with the end of tier BIS Gear stats. So first we have the basic Nadjia build with Unbound Chaos. You can see the full talent and conduit build in the sim, which I'll have linked in the description. So like I said earlier, we want to look at the 10 to 15 stack range because that's the average amount of stacks you'll get in a key. You'll most likely never get 20, but you know, it just depends on your routing. So this build, it's telling me to go haste by a margin of 1.6% at 10 stacks and a 0.9% margin at 15 stacks. So with my current build, I would want to take haste. The next build we'll take a look at is the same soulbind and conduits, just swapping UBC or Unbound Chaos with Glaive Tempest. So with Glaive Tempest, it's telling me to take haste again by a 3.5% margin at 10 stacks and a 2.8% margin at 15 stacks. The last build we'll take a look at with my current gear is a bit different. It's pretty much a full AoE build. We're running Theotar Soulbind, triple potency, Growing Inferno, Dancing with Fate, and Relentless Onslaught with Glaive Tempest over Unbound Chaos. So this build is telling me to take haste by a 0.9% margin at 10 stacks and a 2.9% margin at 15 stacks. That's it with my current gear. Now we'll take a look at the end of tier BIS gear. We're going to go into the same order build wise, starting off with Nadjia with Unbound Chaos. At 10 stacks, it's telling us to go haste by a margin of 1.4% and a 0.1% at 15 stacks. So this is a lot closer than most builds. You can really take either one. But I think, you know, like we looked at the average is around 10 to 11 stacks. So might be better off going for haste, but either way, it's going to be pretty close. Next, we'll take a look at the same Soulbind build, just replacing Unbound Chaos with Glaive Tempest again. So at 10 stacks, it's telling us to go haste by a margin of 0.4% and a 1% margin at 15 stacks. All the sims you see will be linked below. There's not much to say about them. I'm kind of just giving you guys an idea of what you should be taking and what the differences are, and kind of, you know, what you should be looking for. And the last sim we'll be looking at is the full AoE Theotar triple potency build with Glaive Tempest. So at 10 stacks, it's telling us to go haste by a margin of 1.5% and a 0.7% margin at 15 stacks. So like I said, I'm going to be focusing on the 10 stack range because looking at logs from multiple different dungeons and key levels, that's about the average amount you'll get in one key. So I hope this helped you guys out. Like I said earlier, all the information you need to do this yourself is down below in the description. If this did help you, make sure to leave a like and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or you can join my Discord and I'll probably get back to you there faster. But I do check all my YouTube comments when I can, and make sure to hit that sub button and the bell to not miss a video. And until next time, peace.